The intimacy switch. Reignite your energy, confidence, and connection after 60. Sleep is supposed to heal you, but after 60, if you're not careful, it can quietly wear you down. Hi, I'm Dr. Jonathan Prescott, and if you're a man over 60, this might be one of the most important things you hear all week. See, every single night, your body enters a natural fasting state while you sleep. But if you're not giving it the right kind of support before bed, something troubling starts to happen, slowly, silently. Your body begins breaking down not just muscle, but also the blood vessels that carry life to where it matters most. Yes, I'm talking about circulation, especially the kind tied to your vitality, your confidence, and your intimacy. The truth is, most men don't realize it's happening. You wake up, feel fine, maybe just a little stiff or tired, but deep down, something is slipping. Your blood flow is weakening, and with it, your energy and sense of connection begin to fade. Not all at once, little by little, until one day you wake up and wonder, where did that fire go? I've looked in the eyes of men who carry that question with quiet shame, and I've also seen what happens when they finally learn what's really going on, and how simple it is to turn it around. Because here's the hard truth. It's not just aging that's stealing your performance. It's what you're doing or not doing before bed. And tonight, I'm going to show you the single most common bedtime mistake I see in my practice. The early warning signs of declining circulation that most men miss. And a powerful one-spoon fix you can start using tonight. No prescriptions, no gimmicks, just real, natural recovery. And if you stick with me till the end, I'll even share a complete nightly routine, a rhythm I've used with thousands of older men that's helped them restore strength, intimacy, and morning energy in as little as 7 nights. So if you're serious about keeping your blood flow strong and your connection alive after 60, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and let's do this together. Now, let's start at the beginning with what really happens to your blood flow and intimacy after 60, and why it's not your fault, but it is your opportunity to take control.
How blood flow and intimacy change after 60. It's not just in your head, it's in your blood. Over the years, I've had so many good men, husbands, veterans, retired coaches, grandfathers, sit across from me with that quiet hesitation. And then finally, they ask the question they've been holding in for months, sometimes years. Doc, why am I not the same down there anymore? And listen, I get it. That's not an easy question to ask. It takes guts. But I'll tell you exactly what I tell them. It's not that you've lost your desire. It's that your body can't respond the way it used to, because the blood just isn't flowing like it once did. You see, after 60, your vascular system, the highways and byways that move blood through your body, begins to change. Arteries that used to be elastic and open start to stiffen up. The endothelium, the lining of your blood vessels that releases nitric oxide to help blood flow freely, starts to weaken, and your body produces less nitric oxide overall, the very compound you need to open up those vessels and make things work below the belt. So you may still feel young in your heart, but when blood can't reach the areas it needs to, the lights are on, but no one's answering the door. That's why you might notice slower response, less sensitivity, a change in morning function. At first, you brush it off. Bad night's sleep? Too much stress? Maybe. But then it becomes more frequent, more frustrating. And unfortunately, most men chalk it up to just getting older. But let me be very clear here. This is not some irreversible death sentence for your intimacy. It's a natural shift, and more importantly, it's a treatable one. Here's the part that really stings, though. Most men don't realize it's happening until it's already well underway. Why? Because the early signs are quiet, easy to ignore, easy to explain away, but they matter. So before we talk solutions, I want to help you recognize those early signs. because the earlier you catch circulation decline, the easier it is to reverse. And yes, you can reverse it. Let's take a look at what those hidden red flags look like, so you can stop guessing and start getting your strength back, right where it counts.
2. Signs your blood flow is declining and you don't know it. Your body whispers before it screams. After decades of working with men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, here's something I know for sure. Circulation issues almost never come out of nowhere. The body always gives you warning signs. The problem is, most men either don't recognize them or they ignore them. Let me tell you about James, 68 years old, retired construction foreman, tough guy. Came into my office not for intimacy issues, but because, in his words, "Doc, I'm just tired all the damn time. Legs cramp up at night, and I'm not waking up the way I used to." Then he laughed a little, shook his head and said, "Still feel like there's fire in the engine, but the ignition's not turning over." That line stuck with me, because what James was describing wasn't aging, it was declining blood flow, and he didn't know it. Most men don't. So let me spell out a few of the most common early signs your circulation might already be slipping, even if you feel okay. Cold feet at night, literally. Your body isn't circulating warm blood as well as it used to. Fewer or weaker morning erections. Your blood vessels aren't responding to nitric oxide the same way. Persistent fatigue, even after a decent night's sleep. Needing more stimulation to feel aroused or stay engaged. Cramping legs at night, especially calves and thighs. Mental fog, trouble focusing, less clarity. Less sensation in intimate areas, or a delayed response. You might still be mowing the lawn, walking the dog, helping your grandkids with homework, but under the surface, your blood vessels could already be underperforming, quietly, consistently. And here's the kicker. The longer you ignore those signs, the harder they are to fix. Not impossible, just harder. The body's ability to regenerate does decline with age, but it doesn't disappear, not even close. What it needs is a little more support, especially at night when healing and recovery are supposed to happen. But unfortunately, that's exactly where most men are making a big mistake, night after night, without realizing it's making everything worse. And it's not about what you're doing during the day. It's about what you're forgetting to do right before bed. Let me show you the #1 bedtime mistake I see in older men and how fixing it can change everything. 3. The #1 bedtime mistake that's killing your circulation. It's not what you're doing wrong during the day. It's what you're skipping before bed. One of the hardest conversations I have is with a man who's done everything right. He's walking every morning, eating reasonably well, taking his medications, maybe even cutting back on sugar and trying to get better sleep. And yet, he still looks me in the eye and says, "Doc, I don't get it. I'm doing all the work, but something still feels off." And this is where I usually have to drop the truth bomb gently. You're not losing your strength during the day. You're losing it at night. Here's why. After 60, nighttime becomes mission critical for your circulation. That's when your body is supposed to go into repair mode. Your cells rebuild, your hormones rebalance, your blood vessels regenerate, or at least they're supposed to. But there's a catch. That repair process needs fuel. And most men, they're going to bed with an empty tank. Some skip dinner. Others eat too early. Many avoid nighttime snacks entirely, either because they've heard it's bad for digestion or they're trying to not gain weight.
But when you go to sleep without giving your body the raw materials it needs, it can't rebuild. So what does it do instead? It starts pulling from reserves. And yes, that means breaking down muscle and even weakening the lining of your blood vessels just to keep everything running. So while you sleep, your circulation isn't healing, it's deteriorating. And that's why you wake up feeling stiffer, slower, and more disconnected than the night before, without ever realizing the damage was happening in your sleep. But here's the hope. This mistake, it's fixable, easily. I've had patients reverse years of sluggish circulation just by changing what they give their body before bed. No prescriptions, no surgery, no devices strapped to your face. All it takes is one small spoonful of something simple, natural, and powerful. I call it the nighttime fix. Let me show you exactly what it is and why it works so well for so many men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. 4. The nighttime fix. 1 spoon that feeds your blood vessels. Simple doesn't mean weak. Sometimes the smallest habits unlock the biggest changes. I've spent a lifetime digging through labs, reading scans, prescribing medications, and running advanced treatments for men dealing with fatigue, poor circulation, and intimacy issues. But let me tell you something that still humbles me after all these years. Some of the most powerful results I've seen came from a kitchen, not a clinic. Yes, one of the most effective nightly habits I recommend doesn't come in a pill bottle. It comes in a spoon. It's a blend I give to nearly every man over 60 I treat because it's safe, natural, easy, and it works. So what's in it? Beetroot powder. This is the star. Beetroot is rich in natural nitrates, compounds your body turns into nitric oxide, the very same molecule that dilates your blood vessels and boosts circulation where it matters most. It's like opening the floodgates after years of trickling flow. Raw honey. Why honey? Because it helps stabilize blood sugar overnight and supports hormonal function, especially testosterone. It's also got natural anti-inflammatory properties. Your blood vessels love that. And the sweetness? It's the kind your body knows how to use. Warm water. Not cold, not boiling, just warm. It helps dissolve the mix, makes it easier to digest, and primes your body for rest. Think of it as a gentle delivery system for everything your system's been craving. You mix 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder with 1 teaspoon of raw honey in a glass of warm water. Stir slowly, breathe, drink. That's it. That's the fix. A spoonful of vascular support just before bed. And here's what men start noticing after just a few nights. Warmer hands and feet, fewer nighttime cramps, better energy in the morning, and yes, the return of those good old morning signals. Most importantly, a quiet, grounding confidence that starts to come back. Because when a man feels that spark again, even a flicker, everything changes. His posture, his mood, his connection, his belief that he's not fading, just evolving. Now, if you really want to supercharge this nightly habit, there are a few natural allies I often recommend, gentle reinforcements that take this fix to the next level. Let's talk about those next. 3 add-ons that can multiply the effect of this routine and help your body restore faster, deeper, and more completely. 3 natural add-ons to supercharge your bedtime routine. When your body's ready to heal, give it the tools to do the job right. Now, if you've been following along, you already know that 1 spoonful of beetroot, raw honey, and warm water can help feed your blood vessels and restore circulation while you sleep. But sometimes, especially if your system's been running on empty for years, your body needs a little more backup. Over time, I've fine-tuned this routine with my patients, and there are 3 natural additions I recommend again and again because they don't just work with your nightly fix, they amplify it. Let's break them down. 1. is magnesium, the quiet mineral that does it all. Most men I treat are magnesium deficient and don't even know it, but this humble mineral plays a starring role in vascular health. Magnesium relaxes blood vessels, calms the nervous system, and improves sleep quality, all critical for recovery. It also helps prevent leg cramps, which many men over 60 struggle with, especially at night. One small dose before bed can mean the difference between tossing and turning and waking up feeling rested, clear-headed, and steady on your feet. Number 2 is L-arginine, the nitric oxide booster. L-arginine is an amino acid, and your body uses it to make nitric oxide, the same circulation-supporting compound that beetroot helps unlock. When you pair beetroot with L-arginine, it's like giving your blood vessels a double green light. Men report faster warmth in hands and feet, improved physical responsiveness, stronger morning energy, and often a surprising return of performance they thought was gone for good. And number 3 is ashwagandha, the ancient herb for modern stress. Stress is the silent killer of intimacy, circulation, and vitality, and most men carry more of it than they realize. Ashwagandha has been used for centuries to calm the mind, lower cortisol, and support hormonal balance, especially testosterone. A small cup of ashwagandha tea before bed helps your entire system unwind. You rest deeper, you recover better, and you wake up more centered, clear, and connected. And the emotional benefit, it's huge. Less tension, fewer overthinking loops, more patience, more presence, especially with your partner. The beauty of these 3 is that they're natural, easy to find, gentle on the body, and designed to work with your biology, not against it. You don't need to use all of them overnight. Start where it feels manageable. Add one, then another. Watch how your body responds. Because the truth is, you don't need a prescription to feel like yourself again. You just need a plan that works with your body, not around it. And speaking of plans, let me now walk you through the complete nightly routine. The simple, step-by-step rhythm that's helped hundreds of men regain the strength, energy, and confidence they thought they'd lost forever.
6. Your complete nightly routine plan. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is rhythm. A rhythm your body can heal to. Now that you know what's happening inside your body, now that you understand why circulation fades and how to support it, let's talk about what to do, night by night, to rebuild what matters most. This isn't some complicated regimen with 10 steps and a timer. It's a rhythm, a simple nightly ritual that tells your body it's time to restore. It's safe now. Let's rebuild. Let me walk you through it. 30 to 60 minutes before bed, slow things down. Start by mixing 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder, 1 teaspoon of raw honey into a glass of warm water. Stir gently, let it dissolve, then drink it slowly, like you're feeding your body, not rushing through another chore. Think of it as your fuel for repair. You're not just drinking something. You're giving your vascular system the building blocks it needs to restore blood flow while you sleep. Optional. Add your reinforcements. If you've got magnesium or L-arginine on hand, this is the time to take them. Magnesium helps your muscles relax and your nervous system settle down. L-arginine pairs beautifully with beetroot to boost nitric oxide production. Tip: if you're new to supplements, start with 1. Try magnesium first for better sleep, then add L-arginine after a few days.
If you enjoy tea, brew a small cup of ashwagandha. Let it steep while the house quiets down. Sip it slowly. This isn't just about circulation. It's about slowing your heart rate, calming your mind, and easing your body into deeper rest. Ashwagandha is especially helpful if you've had a stressful day or you find your mind racing when your head hits the pillow. Create a low-light, no-screen environment. Your brain and body need a signal that it's time to shift gears. Dim the lights, turn off your phone, let silence or soft music take over. You're not just going to bed, you're stepping into restoration. Repeat. Consistency is where the magic happens. Do this for 7 nights. Not when you remember, not once or twice, just 7 consistent nights. And here's what I want you to notice. Are your feet warmer in the morning? Are your legs less restless at night? Are your morning erections returning? Is your focus sharper? Are you starting to feel like you again? Even small improvements are victories, signs your body is remembering what it's capable of. Because the truth is, healing doesn't happen in big, dramatic moments. It happens in quiet patterns, repeated with care, until the body begins to trust again. And trust me, it will. Your blood vessels still want to serve you. Your body still wants to show up for you. All you have to do is show up for it. What comes back when blood flow returns? You're not trying to be who you were. You're reclaiming who you still are. If you've made it this far, let me say something up front. I respect you. Because most men your age don't stick around for the hard truths. They shrug, say it's just aging, and quietly let go of parts of themselves that never had to be lost. But you stayed, you listened, you leaned in, and now you know the truth. You know that blood flow doesn't fade overnight. You know it slips quietly through missed signals and silent habits. You know that declining intimacy, energy, and confidence aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of a body needing more care, not less. And you now know how to give it that care. You've learned that what's stealing your strength isn't just time. It's what happens when you go to bed without fueling the systems that keep you alive, connected, and confident. But now you have the tools. A spoonful of support, a few natural allies, a nightly rhythm built not on gimmicks or hype, but on biology, trust, and consistency. This isn't about chasing youth. This is about honoring the man you've become and helping him show up fully every single day. Because when blood starts flowing again, it's not just your body that comes back online. It's your clarity, your posture, your presence with the woman you love, your ability to look in the mirror and feel grounded, not defeated. I've seen men in their 70s, even 80s, regain what they thought they buried years ago. Not because they fought harder, but because they finally stopped ignoring their own needs. You are not broken. You are not too far gone. You're just overdue for some restoration. And now, you've got the blueprint. So here's what I ask. Start tonight. 1 spoon, 1 breath, 1 small act of care for the man inside who still has fire in him. Because he's there, and he's worth showing up for. I'll be here every step of the way, sharing what I've learned over a lifetime in medicine. But the next step, that's yours. You ready? Let's begin.